Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we're here to talk mostly about comic books that came out on the 1st of January in the year 2020. So Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Although some of the books in here are stragglers from the weeks before that we didn't get to for one reason or another. But getting right into it, we're going to start with the 4th issue of X-Men by Jonathan Hickman and Lionel Francis Yu.
Yes.
And I thought this was the first issue of X-Men that felt like House of X, Powers of X. Like that
Agreed.
whole comics is back.
Yeah. The politics and espionage.
Right.
Of it.
The global realpolitik, and it's lots of, although it seems to always be the same conversation when it comes to politics. It's like, you don't like us, but here we are anyway.
Right, we're doing it.
We're doing it, and we're doing it better than you. But I do continue to enjoy how Apocalypse is being used to set up whatever bad shit is going to go down in the near future. 'Cause, like, so much stuff in all the books is all about how Apocalypse is like, there's something that happened in the past, and very likely something about to happen. That,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, he's a fun character. He's doing fun stuff.
And some very good Cyclops action in this issue as well. This continues to be the Cyclops-centric book, even though this is the issue where he's like the least focused on out of all of them.
It's true.
And
This guy's cool.
Gorgon, yeah.
Yes.
He is very interesting. He has shown up in a few comics I've read in the past, usually fighting Wolverine in Japan.
Right, nice.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, now he's everybody's bodyguard.
And Professor X took his helmet off and had a conversation with somebody with his actual head visible, looking all creepy.
Yes, he did. And Magneto said his piece, and they left.
So pretty good issue. Yeah, they squeeze a little action in there, kind of, but it's not like any great spectacle of action happening. Like you said, it's more espionage tactics stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty good. I enjoyed this. I'm giving it a 7.
I would also give it a 7. I enjoyed it.
Excuse me.
Next up, we're going to be talking about issue 3 of Punisher Soviet by Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows.
This series is way more flashback than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, this is the second issue in a row of this other guy's backstory and his time in Vietnam.
Well, wasn't it this guy, Afghanistan?
Oh, wait, no, this guy was in Afghanistan, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, his time in Afghanistan.
Which was really violent, like the stuff that's going on in this comic.
Yeah, it's super violent. They find these guys on the side of the road who got their arms and limbs cut off and sutured.
Right, so, yeah, and they call them puppets, right?
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, and that's horrible, but knowing Garth Ennis, I'm sure this is something that actually happens.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Took out their eyes as well.
Oof.
That sucks.
Oof.
Yeah.
And that's not even the worst thing that happens to a group of people in this comic.
Right, which is what the narration says. And I'm like, that's gotta be the worst thing. And then I see the battle, and I'm like, well, this isn't worse. But then, yeah, they show some real bad stuff.
The skinned guys.
These guys, yeah, he gets captured and gets nailed to a tree or knifed to a tree.
Yeah, knifed.
And then he passes out, and when he wakes up, his dudes, his buddies, they've all been skinned and just left there.
Perfectly skinned, I might add.
Yeah, amazing that they didn't die from it alone.
Yeah, like right away. It talks about how they all screamed for hours, but like I feel like when you've been fully de-skinned like that, it's got to be faster than that, right?
Your heart would go
go
into
into
shock pretty fast.
Unless you're a super tough military guy, I
or
guess.
they drugged you.
That's true. Ooh. Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross, and yeah, this is the story about that.
The ending is great though, because you don't really understand fully why. Okay, like we're getting this story because the guy's explaining like the horrors that he's seen,
right?
But then right at the end, they drop the other shoe, and he's like, "Oh, you seen this guy?" I was like, "No, I haven't seen that guy." It's like, "Oh yeah, you should he's totally the guy who betrayed you, man.
Yeah. He's the guy who sold out your platoon.
Oof. So that guy's getting punished.
Yeah. So that's going after that guy, and that's the story. So Punisher's only in this in the very beginning.
Yeah, just having a conversation with the guy.
Yeah. But I do like in the art when he's narrating and his narrating face is poking out of the forest. I think that's at the beginning.
Oh, did I not notice that? You're always noticing little things that... Oh, yeah, that. No, yeah, you're right. It's not, subtle.
No, it's not subtle at all, but I find it hilarious.
Yeah, it's good composition.
Yeah.
And the coloring makes it obvious what's happening.
Right. So this is pretty good. I would like more Punisher. I give it a 6.
I think 6 is right. I am enjoying the series, but this is more like we're going to get to some good stuff soon than anything else.
Yeah, I don't need to read a bunch of comics about the war in Afghanistan.
I know, right? So anyway, we're going to move on to issue 4 of Copra by Michel Fiffe. That's writing and art.
Yep.
And now that I have more of a handle on everything that's going on in the book, it's much easier to follow the individual actions of characters. And
yes,
this is like a catch-up issue for sure, as the team is just kind of resting at base, and Deadshot is negotiating his new deal with Amanda Waller. I'm using, of course, their real names, not the fake names they have in this comic.
And she's so Amanda Waller.
Yeah, and who do we got here? We got Adam Strange, and everybody else is not quite as blatant. Although Guthie, it turns out, especially from the way the art is going in this issue, it looks like the race of alien gods that she's a part of is going to be the new gods, because I think her brother who's coming to get her is 1000% Orion.
Right.
And the art, it's Michel Fiffe art.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little better in this one.
You think so?
Yeah, it feels less flat.
Yeah, very few full pages of one color.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And some pretty cool composition stuff. Like, I liked how after the team has their initial briefing about the Ochizon, it's like, all right, let's get ready. And then the top of the page is like the action-packed 80s cartoon version of getting ready. Like, everybody doing a pose with their weapons. But the bottom is like what actually goes down. Just like some conversation. Somebody quits. Like,
everybody just talking.
So pretty entertaining. I'm enjoying this comic fine. I give this a 6.
I'd also give it a 6. It is, it's fine. Next is, we're going to be talking Terrifics, issue number 23, Michael Lewin Yang, and Davila, Sergio Davila.
Man, how many issues has this Bizarro arc been going on? Because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think only actually
this might be
4 or 5.
Yeah.
But yes, it does feel like this Bizarro arc has been going on for too long.
Which, I gotta give it meta points for being able to instill in us the feeling of going through a time loop. If that's really what he's going for, then mission successful.
Right. And that's what this comic is. It's a time loop of everything Bizarro's doing. He's regressing the world.
Just to the point where they were kids, though.
Right, he's made them kids somehow through that. It's very bizarre because also there's dinosaurs running around, so things are regressing all over the place at different rates, it seems.
Because we saw them get to the kids' point during the de-evolution sequences of the previous couple of issues. So it seems like even though he was going to let's time loop this whole thing because it's so fun, he actually was just time looping it to a kind of recent event.
Right.
And then looping it to the ending just because he likes the ending, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it. It goes through it 4 or 5 times, and Mrs. Terrific keeps falling out of time where she's chased by this black mouth, which is a little weird. And she decides that maybe she needs to let it catch her. And after that, she stops appearing anymore in the time loops.
Well, the best thing was this 2-page spread, which did a really good job of illustrating how earlier in the loop they would realize what was going on each time. I like that bit.
Tying emotion to memory
helps
them remember previous time loops.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, sure.
Yeah, this book.
But yeah, at the end, they decide they're going to fly through the time vortex. And, yeah, we'll see if they make it.
Yeah, everyone's just in the vortex, so like literally any wacky ass thing could happen next issue.
Right, who knows? So it's okay, but like we touched on the problems with this. I give it a 5.
Yeah, it's a 5. There's nothing really wrong with it, and there are some cool points, but man, it's kind of boring.
A little bit. Plastic Man hardly does anything. Yeah. Metamorpho hardly did anything.
Yeah, they were very limited this time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how much longer we stick with Terrifics. It was going good, but I don't know. Since the writer change, we were giving Gene a chance, but I don't know. I don't know if it's doing anything to really hang on.
It's true.
Yeah. So next up, we're going to move on to the first issue of Thor by Donny Cates and Nick Klein. This is the big Thor relaunch now that Jason Aaron has said everything he has to say about the character.
Right.
And Cates immediately does his thing of like, well, I gotta have something like super extreme happen real early.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it works.
It's interesting. Yeah, we're definitely continuing the King Thor of Asgard plotline. No reboot yet, although it seems like we're gonna be getting something of that nature. But yeah, it's a couple of pages of how Asgard works now. Yep. Thor ain't an Avenger anymore because he's going to just be chilling in quote-unquote retirement, that being the king.
Right, retired to being king.
This, I suppose, is still going to be much before he later decides to become the God Cop Thor, as we saw in that last King Thor issue.
Yes.
Loki appears to be separately king of the Frost Giants now.
It does appear that way, but it's not really explained.
Maybe that's something that was going on in Loki's book.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, but then the real action kicks off when Galactus takes a tumble into Asgard and destroys a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Man, Donny Cates loves Galactus.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I like Galactus, too. But
yeah, he's cool.
We're definitely tying heavily into the Donny Cates overstory here. As I do wonder, it's not part of the Cates thing, but like this threat of the evil elemental blackness did seem a lot like the thing that Thor was fighting. Like, not Gore, but like the universal entropy.
Yeah,
in that room.
It's true, but at the same time, it's a little bit like Gore and a little bit like Null.
Right. It might be Null.
Maybe it's Null.
Because, yeah, even in the last issue of Venom, the symbiote mentioned, like, we need Thor. He was the one who beat Null before.
Yeah, exactly.
And Norrin Radd shows up, because he's just going to be in everything that Donny Cates is doing and tying everything together. I'm cool with it.
As well as the other Heralds of Galactus showing up, which getting them all together is funny.
Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider, obviously, has to be there. And I don't know who this Beta Ray Bill looking one is. Maybe that's Beta Ray Bill, but not powered up.
He does look a lot like Beta Ray Bill, but like no horse face.
Right, but Bill, when he is not powered up, like in Thor mode, he doesn't look as horse faced. Like the aliens that built him.
Has Beta Ray Bill been the Herald of Galactus?
That's what I don't know.
Well, hopefully we find these things out.
I feel like that's not him. But yeah, don't know. Right. Yeah, it feels like he would be Beta Ray Bill in like the Team Walk March page. And then Galactus is like, big twist, you're the villain that I was fighting, Thor, so I came to the past to recruit you?
Is that what
Or he saw the future of his enemy? Yeah. Yeah, the Black Winter. When you gaze into it, you see the form of your own true death. I've gazed into it twice now.
Oh, yeah. He sees Thor.
He saw Thor, so he decided to make Thor his herald. And Thor got his arm back.
Thor he didn't only get his arm back, he got his youth back. He's been powered.
Yeah, that's true. He does seem younger, but his hair is pretty crazy.
His hair is very crazy. It's hilarious, in fact.
Yeah, so Thor relaunch. What do you think? Should we keep getting that? I mean, do you like this enough to continue?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah, I give it a 7 as well. I'm looking forward to this.
Cool.
Next up, we have the Last God. This is book 1 of the Fellspire Chronicles.
Yeah, but isn't this issue 3?
It says book 1.
Did we somehow grab book 1 out of the stack? No.
No.
Chapter 3. Oh, okay. It doesn't have the issue number.
Ah, this is chapter 3 of book 1.
That's what I was looking for.
I get it. Yeah, totally. Because this is the one with like the flowery demon things and the young man who was denied his freedom.
Yeah, you remember this book. What other things do you remember?
That's about it.
Yeah, our main team in the future gets to some city where not everybody's friendly, and there's some like religious movement that seems unfriendly. And then in the past, we see more of like the real adventure that the previous warriors went on. That was actually like much darker and eviler than the myth Blood on.
Right, exactly. I am having trouble while reading this keeping up with when I'm in the past and when I'm in the future. The art is not very different between the two. So
right.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, especially when like each group of people, like in each past or future version, has like the same number of people and they're all the same skin color. There's like one white man, one white woman, and one dark colored woman.
Right. I assume it's signaled by the symbols at the top of the page because sometimes there's an axe and sometimes there's a crown.
Oh, yeah, look at you.
But I'm not sure which is which.
No, the axe has got to be the past, and the crown's got to be the future.
The crown's the future.
This is definitely the future when they're talking to the evil demon, and it's like speaking with the voice of the king. And
oh, right, that does happen. Yeah, but everything in this world is becoming a zombie, a plant zombie, and there's like plant zombie dragons, and they fight some of those, and there's this ghoul, little golem creature. And he's cool too. And
the queen did talk to the guy about how she did hate him because of the prophecy, some prophecy that she had heard related to like when he showed up, but it wasn't necessarily revealed that he was her child yet, as I predicted.
That's true.
Yeah,
but
I still think that might be coming.
Some prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
And but that would make sense. Child prophecy, make him a slave.
Yep. But yeah, it's still like. In action and visuals, it's still the most, like, Bloodborne thing out there right now.
That is true. But, it's pretty entertaining to read, even if I don't retain all of the information
this one
too easily.
Much better as, like, a graphic novel where you can sit down and read it all once, all the way through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, catching up, difficult, and,
Because they include a lot of catch-up in the issues, but it's like such a long paragraph of text to read in order to start the issue. It's literally like 4 paragraphs, half the page, very tiny print. You're like, oh no, I think I'll just try to pick it up.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I do.
So what do you give it?
Oh, I give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 as well. I think that is correct. Moving on to the 11th. And second to last issue of Martian Manhunter by Steve Orlando and Riley Rossmo.
Yeah, I thought the last one was the second to last when I read this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be the last one.
No, 12-issue maxi series. And although this had almost everything that would happen in a final issue up until the very end. Like, it really seems like it's building up to... I mean, it is building up to the final fight, and the final fight begins, and John is emotionally healthy now, so he can fight Charn, and...
Yeah, he can be a superhero.
And until Charn can be better than him, so that there can be a cliffhanger at the end of the issue. And luckily he freezes him instead of using fire, which is John's weakness.
That is true. It's very funny.
So I'm sure John will get out of that, almost certainly with some help from the girl Martian, who has like no evil tendencies whatsoever. I super thought she was going to be like brainwashed in some way by the time John got to her.
Right, not just become made into a Martian and then you're fine.
Yeah, I think she's just a Martian girl. I don't remember what the girl version of Martian Manager is called. They even had her in Justice League recently, since they needed her instead of John. Miss Martian, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Look, the series, we've talked about it so much. It should have been 6 issues. That's my review.
But what do you give it?
5.
All right, I give it a 6.
All right, cool.
So, Transformers issue number 15. In this issue... Oh, yeah. That's by Brian Ruckley and Anna Malkova and Bethany McGuire Smith. And they all do a good job in this issue.
Yeah.
It's an alright issue. You know, Megatron, he goes up, he meets with Soundwave, which is pretty good in this issue.
Yeah, I like the meeting, and it's interesting because I feel like it's indicating that Megatron juiced himself basically to make himself the best Decepticon. Like right now he's gonna beat down everybody and form the Decepticons as he wants them to be, but first he needed to use up literally most of the Decepticons' energy reserves and just pour it all directly into himself.
Yeah, it seems like he did juice himself,
yeah.
And that's why he's so easily able to handle Starscream. Like he beats the crap out of him. Soundwave. Shockwave? Dang it.
Yeah. Purple one, Shockwave. Soundwave is the guy with the tape recorder chest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shockwave. Yes, Shockwave. He beats the crap out of Shockwave for starting the rise and being all the rise instead of what is Megatron calling his group right now?
He's changed
Decepticons.
Oh, he hasn't officially changed the name to Decepticons yet? They just did the symbol.
Yeah, I think so.
So they're still the Ascenticons.
I'm pretty sure they're still the Ascenticons.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, but they talk about the deception in this one, but I don't think they officially go to anything.
And yeah, it's all those guys, and then one conversation where Bumblebee is depressed about things.
Yeah. And so, it's pretty good. It's mostly about the conversation that Megatron has and then beating up Shockwave, which is entertaining.
I did like that Shockwave mentioned the other series that's happening. He's I'm working on bringing in some more guys for us. It's old school.
Yeah, so I found this one pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I liked it.
I give it a 6.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, actually. I'm giving this one a 7. I thought it was an easy read.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the 4th issue of Bloodshot by Tim Seeley and Brett Booth. And it's pretty funny that Bloodshot, so quickly decided to work with these guys after initially deciding not to work with these guys. The burnt.
That's true.
The burnt mask guys. And, it's an interesting issue. It's sort of a little one-shot because they let Bloodshot plan his own first op, and he wants to go rescue this guy who turns out to essentially be unrescuable. And he loses one of his buddies on the mission from the burnt, but they do a pretty good job of backing him up.
Yeah, they do. They do a surprisingly good job.
Lots of good violent action. They're fighting some monsters. They got big claws and got the guns blazing and just shooting and blowing up. And when they get to the guy, he's big fat blob plugged into all these tubes, completely unsavable. So
yeah.
So it's a wash.
Just take him down.
And so, so now Bloodshot's going to do... he wants to go rescue that girl that was able to make him all melty from the other team in the first couple of issues.
Yeah, right.
So, I'm enjoying Bloodshot. It's action-packed.
It really is.
And it's not really trying to be much more than that, which I can appreciate.
Yeah, same.
I'm giving it a 7.
I'd also give it a 7. For those reasons. Alright, next up we're talking about issue 2 of Conan, Serpent Wars.
Okay, full disclosure, I read this issue, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I do not remember anything that happened in it.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. Jim Zub is the writer for this one with Steven Segovia as the artist. And what happens in this one is Solomon Kane, and that is Solomon Kane, right?
Yeah.
Solomon Kane and Moon Knight team up and talk and decide, okay, we're on the same mission, we'll go together. At the same time, time being a relative term in this, as Conan and
Red Agnes
do the exact same thing. And then they're like, you don't like snakes? Well, I don't like snakes. Let's kill some snakes. Conan and Red Agnes, they go into the desert and kill some snakes. And Moon Knight...
Let me tell you, having just read an entire collection of the original Conan stories, Conan spends a lot of fucking time killing snakes. Like, it is a definite concern in the Hyborian age.
That is true. Isn't like one of the cults that takes over like a whole snake cult?
It does seem that, the cult of Set and like people who worship Set and Set himself, like the god is like the villain of Conan.
Hates those guys.
Yeah.
So that's entertaining. And Solomon Kane and Moon Knight, they kill some zombies.
Yeah, and they
which
attack
are
a ship.
also snaky. They attack a ship, and that's cool. I like Moon Knight a lot. Solomon Kane's pretty cool too.
Yeah, the action parts of this are entertaining.
Right. And, that's all that this is really right now. It's just like evil snakes, and we've been called together to fight evil snakes. So I'm enjoying it. I give it a 7.
Alright, I'm giving it a 6. That's fine.
But yeah, like you said, there's not a lot to grasp onto other than these guys kill snakes.
I think I'll be more entertained once the teams come together and we actually have all 4 of these heroes interacting crazily.
Right, especially Conan and Midnight together.
I know.
I want that.
Moon Knight should be on the Savage Avengers.
Yeah, it should.
We're going to finish up with Detective Comics 1018. That's by Peter Tomasi, drawn by Scott Godlewski, who's not an artist I'm familiar with, but pretty sharp work in this issue.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting choice for an issue to come out around Christmas, because there's like a pagan Viking warrior guy who's committing murders and hanging the corpses on trees. It's all very hardcore.
Yeah, it is. It's very much so.
And the art has like a sort of a cartoony quality, like not too cartoony, but just like not super serious quality to it that sort of made the violent actions that were happening stand out a little more than they would have.
Yeah. I like pagan Viking Christmas guy.
I know, right? It just seems weird to start this arc like right at the holidays, so then it's probably gonna be like 3 issues, and we're still gonna be, it's February,
Christmas.
And it's a Christmas themed thing.
Yeah.
And I guess Bruce got a second dog to help deal with the Alfred thing. I'm not sure who the second dog is, but
yeah, he keeps falling asleep and shit in this issue. He's real tired.
He's tired and sad.
He's snoring at his computer.
Yeah, that's very unusual for him.
He's not a snorer.
He's having trouble. He's having trouble holding it together. No one's bringing him his sandwiches.
No, he has to make his own sandwiches.
And and then he's investigating the guy, and he figures out that the dude's going to show up where they're doing a big Christmas tree lighting celebration, which, I don't know if he needed to be the world's greatest detective. Figure out that was a likely point for
this Christmas guy, this Yuletide Viking.
Yeah, this guy looks badass. Yeah, I do want to see Batman fight this guy.
He's cool.
So pretty good. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6 as well. Pretty good.
All right, and that is going to do it for our reviews for this week. As always, thank you so much to all of our listeners for sticking with us, and we will be back in the very near future with even more comic reviews.
Good juice. Good juice. Good juice.